In my video on making the Korean fighter kite, I mentioned I was going to make one using this polyfilm as a sail material. It's much slipperier, much smoother than the Orcon material I used on the first one. This is exactly the same dimensions. I used carbon fiber rods that are 0.05 inch in diameter on all of the spars, the leading edge, the crossbars, and the spine. But on this center parallel spar, parallel to the leading edge here, I use a 0.03 inch carbon rod, much thinner, which is traditional for Korean fighter kiting. Now I have it set up here to fly. And to do that, I just simply make the tension line, bend the leading edge spar enough so I can get two fingers stacked on top of each other in between there. And that seems to be a good way to judge it, because what you really want is the distance measured corner to corner after it's been bent to equal the dimension of the corner to corner trailing edge. And this pretty much does it. Now, in the beginning, I made the bridle so that it was traditional Korean bridle setup, where the upper bridle yoke is attached to each corner of the leading edge, which I think you can see here. And then the lower bridle point is about 2.5 inches below the bottom of the hole. But when I made this kite, I also made it with two bridles, so I could evaluate the difference in flight when I got to the flying field, and to do it quickly. So on this second bridle, I put the upper yoke 1.5 inches on either side of the spine attached to the leading edge, so much narrower positioning. And then I attached it at the bottom of the hole for the lower bridle point, and also made a loop so I could attach it at the center of the hole while I'm at the flying field, so it'd be really easy to do. And I have done that, and I want to tell you that the way the kite flies using the standard bridle is that it has a tendency to turn very, very slowly. But once it's aimed in the direction you want it to go, and the line tension is maintained, the kite goes in an exceedingly straight path. It's remarkably good at tracking. Now, the slow turning, though, and almost no spinning isn't something that I personally want in a fighter kite. I want it to be more maneuverable than that. So when I tried it with this other bridle setup, I was hoping it would make it a little better that way, and it sure did. It spins, turns quickly, and still tracks beautifully. And that's with it, with the lower bridle point at the center of all the crossbars. Right now I have the lower bridle at the point below, just at the bottom edge of the hole. And I'm going to test that next, and it'll probably provide flight that a little bit slower spin than it did here, but I want to find out, so that's what I'm going to do. And other than that, I think the Korean fighter kite exploration I've been doing has proven to be Really fun, learned a lot, and I hope you decide to make one. They fly nicely, easy to make, and provide lots of enjoyment.